because you're a quote fan. So I did an episode with Derren Brown most recently, before going into the first lockdown, and that man has so much wisdom. For the quote fans out there, you should definitely check that episode out. He had so many good ones. The two that really stuck with me were: becoming who you are is forgetting who you are supposed to be. Becoming who you are is forgetting who you're supposed to be. And I think that's because there's so much, my interpretation of that is that there is so much expectation on who you are supposed to be, especially growing up, becoming who you are. And, your parents have expectations on you, and your friends have expectations, your partner has expectations on you. But if you just forget all of that, only when you truly put all of that out of your mind do you become who you are supposed to be, your true self. And so I always try and think, what are people's expectations of me? And then I always try and align to whether I think that is if I do what they expect to, am I being true to myself here? Is that me being who I want to be? Is that being a good representation of who I am? And I guess that comes back to being an artist. There's and a music artist and music producer, there's often expectations about what you should be as an artist, and how you should be and who you should look. But I think by remaining true to who you feel like you want to be is probably how it leads to happiness. I know that was a big thing from Derren, is happiness and finding purpose. And only when you have purpose do you find that you're happy. When you're listless, or you feel like you're on the wrong course, or you're on someone else's course, you feel this disconnect, and that often leads to a great deal of unhappiness. And obviously when we're not in a good mood, and we're not in a positive mood, that then has an impact on other areas of our life, creativity being one of them, ideas being one of them, and obviously the quality of our output being on that. So that brings me to another quote of his, actually, which was, focus on your talent and your energy, the rest is irrelevant. Focus on your talent and energy, and the rest is irrelevant. And again, energy for me, I think that's, again, I sort of subconsciously picked that up when I was speaking earlier about passion. It's always about the energy. It's about, your talent, but then also the energy that you put behind it. And you need to have both in tandem. You can't just have talent and no energy and no thrust, because otherwise it's never going to go anywhere. It's never going to take you anywhere. Focus on your talent, improving yourself, improving your ability, and then also focus on what you're doing with it and how you're spending that energy. Because after all, energy is a finite resource, and you can choose to spend it where you want. And you could put it in areas which don't feel like are particularly fulfilling to you, and that's fulfilling in an emotional or spiritual or financial way. And if it's not giving you anything, or it's not rewarding you with anything, then you've got to look at whether that could be spent better elsewhere in a way that's going to bring you a greater sense of fulfillment.